Today's episode is brought to you by Heifer International. If you're looking for the perfect holiday gift for everyone on your list, know that just one goat from Heifer International can provide a whole family with nutritious milk. A gift of an animal from Heifer increases access to education, empowerment, and dignity. And the more gifts you buy, the more families you can help. It's an easy way to give gifts that really matter to all your friends and family. This is no ordinary gift. Learn more at heifer.org/grammar. That's heifer.org/grammar. Grammar Girl here, I'm Mignon Fogarty. This week, I have a tidbit about how to pronounce caramel, or is it caramel? And a meaty middle about phrases we get from sports. Let's get started. Jeffrey wrote in after he noticed that I pronounced caramel as caramel a few weeks ago, and that sounded wrong to him. The Harvard Dialect Survey found that the three-syllable pronunciation, caramel, is dominant all along the East Coast of the United States, from Maine to Florida, and extending into the South through Atlanta, Mississippi, Louisiana, and parts of Texas. Jeffrey, it turns out, was born and raised in New York, which explains why caramel is the way he's used to hearing it. My parents are from the Midwest, and I grew up in Seattle, and I've lived in the West my whole life, and I rarely recall anyone pronouncing it caramel, although the Harvard Dialect Survey maps show that there are some people here who do pronounce it that way. The most memorable thing for me is caramel apples, which has a melodic sound with both words having two syllables, caramel apple. I don't think I've ever heard anyone call them caramel apples. Gardner's Modern American Usage acknowledges three pronunciations for the word, saying caramel is best, caramel is second best, and caramel is worst, although he doesn't give a reason for his ranking. I'll concede that the three-syllable pronunciations better reflect the spelling of the word, caramel, but many words aren't pronounced exactly like they're spelled, as we learned in the Worcestershire episode a few months ago. There are even other three-syllable words in which the middle syllable is often dropped, such as interesting, which is often pronounced interesting, and laboratory, which is often pronounced laboratory. I'll also concede that I feel a little bit defensive about the caramel pronunciation, given that it's all I heard growing up and seems to be the most common pronunciation in my region, and, depending on which maps you look at, in the majority of the United States. And then it feels like people are just decreeing for no reason that one pronunciation is, quote, better than the others. But no matter how you pronounce it, the correct spelling is caramel. Sometimes people spell it without the A in the middle based on the caramel pronunciation, and that spelling is wrong. While we're on the topic, I've always wondered what the difference is between caramel or caramel and butterscotch, so I looked it up. The biggest difference between the two is that caramel is made with white granulated sugar and butterscotch is made with brown sugar. Before we get to our meaty middle, thanks to our sponsor, HelloFresh, a meal kit delivery service that shops, plans, and delivers your favorite step-by-step recipes and pre-measured ingredients so you can just cook, eat, and enjoy. With HelloFresh, all the ingredients are delivered right to your door in recyclable insulated packaging and come pre-measured in handy labeled meal kits, so you know which ingredients go with which recipe. It's so easy. And HelloFresh offers a wide range of chef-curated recipes that change weekly, including the Classic Plan, which comes with a wide variety of meat, fish, and seasonal produce, the Veggie Plan, vegetarian recipes with plant-based proteins, and the Family Plan, quick and easy meals the whole family will love. Better yet, you can choose a delivery day that works best for your busy schedule, and even pause your account for weeks at a time. HelloFresh makes it so easy to cook delicious, balanced dinners for less than $10 per meal. No more time-consuming meal planning or grocery shopping. Enjoy not spending money on takeout for an easy night or worrying about gathering ingredients week after week. With HelloFresh, I love that I don't have to go fight my way through the grocery store, and cooking is faster because there's less measuring and no waste. Plus, the food is interesting and delicious. And you can support the show by using my code to get $30 off your first week of HelloFresh. Just visit HelloFresh.com and enter the promo code GRAMMAR30. That's grammar and the numbers 30, grammar 30. And now on to sayings we get from sports. Are you a fan of sports and leisure activities? Some people enjoy baseball, but not fishing. Others might like basketball more than track and field. But no matter what sport or leisure activity you prefer, chances are there's an English idiom that originates from it. This week, we'll get you into an active frame of mind as you learn about 5 idioms from 5 different sport activities. First up is track and field. This sport encompasses a wide variety of physical activities, including high jump, shot put, and pole vault. Athletes perform these amazing feats on the field, and on the track are the ones who run, and running is the source of the first idiom in the list. Can you guess what phrase it is? Think about what might happen to runners if they begin sprinting before the signal goes off. This action is called jumping the gun and might lead to disqualification. To jump the gun in a figurative sense means to act hastily or prematurely, and the expression has been used in this sense since the 1940s. You might hear the phrase used in a sentence like, "Allie jumped the gun and regretted investing too much money before learning the ins and outs of the stock market." Interestingly, the phrase "jump the gun" took the place of an earlier phrase from about 1900, "beat the pistol." Now let's play baseball. The first official baseball game was played in New Jersey in 1846. Obviously, baseball is played in a ballpark. If you're in the ballpark, in a figurative sense, however, you're talking about an approximation or educated guess that's within reasonable limits. According to dictionary.com, this phrase is an Americanism dating to the late 1800s or early 1900s, somewhere in that ballpark. The online etymology dictionary, on the other hand, states that "in the ballpark" originated in 1954 as jargon first used by atomic weapons scientists to refer to the expected area where a missile might land. Regardless of exactly when the phrase came into being, it's widely used today. Let's say that Jim is guessing Bob's age, but Bob doesn't want to tell Jim the exact number. 30-year-old Bob could say that Jim is in the ballpark if Jim guesses late 20s. You might also hear ballpark used as an adjective, as in, "I'm not sure how much Daisy owes me, but the ballpark amount is $100. Another ball game that's the origin of an interesting phrase is basketball, invented in 1891 by Dr. James Naismith. Back then, the game was different than it is now. For example, at first, players used a soccer ball, and the nets were peach baskets that still had their bottoms. In addition, dribbling wasn't part of the game, and neither were slam dunks, shots that are forcefully put into the basket. The person first credited with a slam dunk is a 7-foot-tall player from Oklahoma A&M, Bob Kurland, who accomplished this in 1944 against Temple University. Kurland later called it, quote, "an unintentional accident," unquote. Aren't all accidents unintentional? But that's a topic for another day. Nowadays, the phrase slam dunk is used to mean something certain to be accomplished. It's usually used as a noun, as in getting the customer to sign up for another year of service was a slam dunk. In other words, it was very easy to do. Slam dunk can also be used as a compound adjective with a hyphen, as in a slam dunk success. Have we hooked you yet with sports-related phrases? If not, you might enjoy this fishing-related idiom. Someone who falls for something, hook, line, and sinker, believes it completely and totally. This phrase has been used to mean to a great degree since about 1865. Apparently, fish sometimes swallow more than just the bait. They might gobble up everything but the fishing pole. There's the hook, which holds the bait. There's the line, which joins the hook to the fishing pole. And there's the sinker, a leaded weight that makes a fishing line go below the water's surface. If you're a fish or a gullible person, watch out for those hooks, lines, and sinkers. Last up is a phrase that comes from rifling, which involves the use of targets. People taking aim at something far away use optical devices that have crosshairs to center the target. Likewise, it can be said that people who attack and criticize others have their victims, quote, "in the crosshairs," unquote. Believe it or not, originally crosshairs on instruments, such as telescopes and micrometers, were made from spider webs. In fact, in the early 1800s, before they were called crosshairs, these lines were also called spider lines. In both the literal and figurative cases, crosshairs is usually 2 words, but it can be 1 word. According to Merriam-Webster, the first known use of crosshairs was in 1884. That segment was written by Bonnie Mills, the author of The Curious Case of the Misplaced Modifier, who blogs at sentencesleuth.blogspot.com. And I'm Mignon Fogarty. Grammar Girl is part of the Quick and Dirty Tips podcast network. You can find all my old articles and podcasts at quickanddirtytips.com. That's all. Thanks for listening. And if you celebrate the holiday, have a Merry Christmas this week.